idea of bridging the gap. How do you as individuals, how do you as CFOs or as organizations help to bridge that gap? And in the preparation for this session, Jehan, we were talking about, the standard challenges that any organization has with attracting the right talent, retaining talent, creating motivated staff with career paths, those kind of things, remunerating them effectively, managing them. Increasingly regulation is impacting how and who and where you hire people. So there's all of those challenges, but I think let's talk about the skills here primarily. And you touched off it earlier on, some of the strategies that you have in Infomate about how to provide people with the skills, the hard skills and the softer skills. So maybe just go back to that point and tell us a little bit more about that learning environment.
First of all, if companies don't fulfill their skill gap, they're going to be faced with risks, right? They're going to be faced with the risks of a board and a CEO which is not properly advised. They're going to have compliance risks where they're not really meeting all of the requirements. There's a risk of missed opportunities and ultimately a suboptimal finance division. And a suboptimal future, because that advice is so important to the future of the business. And in today's very volatile situation, not having the right skills is a significant risk to the business. Now, how we ensure that we keep up with the skill requirements is, number one, is our relationship with all of the educational bodies. So we are an ACCA approved employer. We also are a CIMA training partners. We have access to the recruitment channels as well as a lot of the other knowledge base. Then we have our own learning and development training arm. We have a fully equipped training lab where there's continuous training happening. So we encourage all of our staff to, on a continuous basis, upskill, learn new skills. And that's something that our staff really value. In fact, we did a Great Place to Work survey. And one of the things that the employees ranked as the top 2 was the training and the development opportunities that they got from the company. So it helps with retention, it helps with staff growth, it helps with promotion, and it helps better serve our customers. So our own L&D division, we have lots of programs, and now we are trying to equip our entire pool with skills like artificial intelligence, automation, and ERP best practices, so that they are equipped for the new wave. I was talking to someone from Deloitte, and he says the world has not really fully woken up to the seismic impact AI is going to have on everything that we do. Right. So we've been here before. Some of the initiatives hasn't been as it's not delivered on the hype, but the thinking is that AI will really fulfill, and more what people expect. So we need to start small, start incorporating AI and other tools into what we do. We want to start disrupting ourselves, ensure all of our staff are equipped with the knowledge. So those are some of the initiatives we have.
Yeah, that's great. Just on the AI thing, I think there's a bit of a I think the ability to increase personal productivity with AI tools is absolutely right here, right now. I think if you're not making significant productivity improvements on your own work through the use of Copilot or ChatGPT or some of the other tools, then you're missing out, I think, is probably a basic comment on that. But I think at scale, there's probably a little bit of way to go. That I think the infrastructure, my understanding of it is that the infrastructure isn't quite there yet to be able to really do the things that will be coming and will create that massive disruption in the next sort of 3 to 5 year time frame. But it's not quite there yet. But certainly at a personal productivity improvement level, it's definitely there. Clive, can I just jump over to you? So Jehan was talking about some of those learning strategies and tools that they have internally within their organization. Let's just go more broadly for me a bit and help me understand maybe what's coming through the reports, particularly in ACCA, but other things that you're seeing in your conversations about with CFOs and other people around the career paths. Like where are they getting their learnings from? Where are they getting the expertise? How are they developing? And how are organizations supporting that? Maybe that would be really helpful. Any of the insights out of the report would help.
Right. So the theory of learning itself in the workplace in particularly, I mean, we went from that traditional L&D structure where learning development teams provided information and courses into what they call learning in the flow of work, which is a greater emphasis on learning as you go along and learning particularly more focus on what they call the 70%, so the self-discovery learning, if you follow that model. So that's where we sort of are. Where we probably start to go is what they call hyper-personalized learning. So this is you being able to access learning that is increasingly specific to you. Now, part of that is through AI, part of that is through increased range of learning options that employers and membership bodies and the general domain, I mean, LinkedIn Learning is available to anybody effectively, provides. So it's more about you understanding your job role and what you need to know to be better in your career path going forwards than it is something your employer will provide as a standard program and pathway. And that's where we've gone from traditional L&D through to hyper-personalized learning. So the impact of that is twofold. One, as an individual, you ultimately have to take responsibility to upskill yourself, because nobody is going to upskill you in that pathway that you want to follow and the speed at which you want to follow it. So, question of how you access that, but that's important. Second point, it is about more flexibility in the career paths that in our reports, even sort of 5 years ago, we talked very much about matrix career paths and up and down and left and right as opposed to the standard linear path. That has totally gone. What now we need to think about is more individual career paths. So it is what you want to do, what your aspirations are, how you deploy your skill sets. To do that, you need to think about what skill sets you need to develop. So it's back to the hyper-personalized bit. So in career paths, it's basically you've got to take your own responsibility and see where you want to go and be part of that growth of the organization that Jehan's talked about. You've talked about, AI will change things. It is changing things, but it is a broad canvas of things. It's not just ChatGPT and personalization tools and things like that. It is a far broader canvas.